Stuart Scott with you in the studio. Coming up today, we will break down a must-win game for both the Giants and Buccaneers. We'll also chit-chat with Amon Green of the Packers, plus a report from Tampa. That's later today on SportsCenter and Monday Night Countdown. Coming up at 5:30 Eastern on ESPN, pardon the interruption. Then at 6 Eastern, 90 minutes worth of SportsCenter leading up to TJ, Michael, Urban, Jaws, and yours truly on Monday Night Countdown at 7:30 Eastern. But coming up next, we're going around the horn with Max Kellerman and his crazy guys.
These four things I know are true. Now that Alonzo Mourning needs a kidney transplant, Kenyon Martin better give him a serious apology. Everyone who doubted the Cowboys better give Bill Parcells an apology. The Ohio State University owes no one an apology for losing to the second best team in the country. And I'm Max Kellerman. You heard me, Plashke.
It's Around the Horn, the show of competitive banter. Here's Max Kellerman.
Welcome back to the show where we not only break down the NFL, we totally destroy it. We'll discuss the Ravens' wild comeback, how Mariotti's Bears upset Woody's Broncos, and how Mariotti's poison pen got Bill Cartwright fired in Chicago. All with our national panel, and here they are. At the Los Angeles Times, it is Bill Plashke.
You want to salute, you can't handle us.
Well, how can you handle a mute? At the Denver Post, it's Woody Page.
Fire your best shot, Narcissus.
That's my best shot. The mute button is my best shot. At the Chicago Sun-Times, it is Jay Mariotti.
First of all, Holly owes me a song here. And secondly, Woody thought the Broncos were going 19-0. What he meant was
very
Bears
clever.
19.
Hey, Jay,
Broncos
you happy now that you got Cartwright fired? Yes, you did. And at the Boston Globe, it's Michael Holly. How you doing, Michael?
Hail to the victors, valiant. Hail to the conquering
We
heroes.
are the show that scores the argument, and here's how I do it with these joysticks and mute buttons. I give these guys points based on point of view, style, and information. Good answers get 2, great ones 3, and I use the mute button to penalize and direct traffic. We eliminate guys, so one-on-one showdown determines the winner. Make it happen.
It's the first word.
The first words are Alonzo Mourning, whose kidney problem has degenerated to such a degree that he will need a transplant and be forced to retire from the NBA. After missing last year, Mourning had signed a 4-year deal to return with the New Jersey Nets, and just last week, his health was an issue during a near brawl with Kenyon Martin in practice. First of all, guys, I'm sure I speak for all of you in wishing Alonzo Mourning good health as his life goes on. But looking back at his career, should Mourning be in the Hall of Fame? Around the horn of Michael Holly.
Oh, I think he should be. You know, the Basketball Hall of Fame is not like baseball's. It's not as stringent. And also, we got to get over this notion that you have to have a championship in tow before you're considered a great player. There are lots of great players in the Hall of Fame right now who don't have championships. George Gervin, Alex English, Dominique Wilkins is going to be there as well. He was an undersized center who wanted to play center. He didn't want to be a guard. He didn't want to hang around the perimeter. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, and always
Michael,
brought it every
his
night.
failures and Riley's failures against the Bulls sort of define Mourning. Granted, he'll leave a legacy of work ethic and courage, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, a terrific human being. You have to say that about him. But Hall of Fame, that's a little strong. I think if you look at the top 50 NBA players of all time, he will not be on that list. So he's not a Hall of Famer.
Jay, I think you're a little confused here. This is not baseball, as Michael said. This is a Hall of Fame that opens up its arms to Russian basketball coaches. If you could put in guys who never even set foot in this country, you could put in a 7-time NBA All-Star, a guy who won an Olympic gold medal, the #2 pick overall, a 20-10-3 guy, 20 points a game, 10 rebounds. Of course, he's a Hall of Fame. He had a great career.
He was a great guy. I'm not going to argue that. A great guy, great human being. But Hall of Famer, no. I don't remember one thing he did on the court, frankly, as far as one memorable moment. Mariotti made a good point. He's remembered more for the losses than for the wins. He was a good, solid player. But Michael, to your point, we can't put people in Hall of Fames because they try hard. That doesn't work anymore. I think the whole thing, in fact, the whole thing was sad, the way he ended up with the Nets, with his teammates making fun of his kidney disease, when maybe he could have stayed in Miami, where they were really sensitive to his kidney disease.
Well,
I think the whole thing was
You're
nasty.
right, but you can't argue with Mourning going and trying to win at the end. Riley wasn't upset about that. You're right. Kenyon Martin should feel like a complete heel today after ridiculing Mourning and his kidney last week.
Holly Flashkey took a shot at you. Go ahead, defend yourself.
I was going to say, Flashkey, you know, it's hard to remember anything he did in his career when he was playing in the era of Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon took care of all the championships. We're going to have the same conversation about Patrick Ewing when it's time for him to come into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, Patrick Ewing's a Hall of Famer.
Well, but so was Alonzo Mourning.
Big difference.
So was Alonzo.
Patrick Ewing was operating on a slightly higher level than Mourning. Look, here's the most compelling argument for Mourning in the Hall of Fame. 7-time All-Star. That tells you a lot. He's among the elite 7 years out of his career, is what he said. There's 2 points for you, Woody. And his presence alone could take a mediocre team and turn them into a regular season powerhouse, at least in the Eastern Conference. But he was the 5th best at his position. Shaq, Olajuwon, Robinson, and Ewing. 5th best at his position, and I think he falls a little bit short of Hall of Fame standards.
But all of them were...
Next topic. How about them Cowboys? It's ridiculous how many times Bill Parcells squeezes wins out of Quincy Carter and a great defense, and he did it again Sunday, 24-20 against the Carolina Panthers. Dallas is now 8-3, tied with Philly, St. Louis, and Carolina for the best record in the NFC. Yes, Woody, I know all those guys were in the Hall of Fame. That's your morning argument, but we're moving on to the topic now. Are the Dallas Cowboys in the favorites in the NFC? Woody, go ahead. Answer the Dallas Cowboys question.
I think we're all proud of what Bill Parcells has done and astonished in some ways.
Proud?
But this is not the NFC pick. You got to think about Philadelphia, the way the Eagles are coming on. And here's the problems with the Cowboys. Too many penalties. You don't play cover 2 against them. That was the mistake made on Sunday. And look at their schedule, guys. They're coming up against the Dolphins on Thanksgiving. They still got to go to Philadelphia. They've got to go play.
Okay, we know you love looking at the schedule. The question is, who is the favorite, Woody? Who is the favorite?
Philadelphia, I told you.
Fine.
And you...
Fine,
Woody, you make a great point about coming up against the Dolphins on Thanksgiving. Dallas is the favorite and should be the favorite. I'm on the Parcells bandwagon. They are going to the Super Bowl. I'm going to say it right now because let's go to that Dolphin game. Last night, the Parcells ordered his players to get treatment on Sunday night instead of waiting until the usual Monday because of the short week. In past, Dallas coaches haven't done that. And the players say that's the difference. They are more prepared than they've ever been. Their turnover ratio is now 0, plus the best defense in the league. Philadelphia let New Orleans run all over them on Sunday. I think that's a good defense.
Hey, Plaschke, you're absolutely right. You have to applaud Parcells. I think this is one of the few times in his career where he's taken over a reclamation project and had success immediately. He didn't do that in New York. He was 3-12-1 his first year. He didn't do that with New England. But with that said, this team has major problems scoring. They were shut out here in New England. They were shut out at Tampa Bay. I think the real favorite has got to be St. Louis. They got a great offensive line. They got Marshall Faulk coming back. But the problem is they need to put Kurt Warner back in their quarterback.
Will you stop? Marshall Faulk is the quarterback there. He threw 4 interceptions yesterday. He's looked bad against the Bears. They barely won. They barely beat Arizona. St. Louis, you're out of your mind. It's Philadelphia. Woody's right, but Woody, here's why. McNabb is now playing stellar football. He's healed. He's great. They've won 6 in a row, and their secondary is healing. They were banged up all year. You've let Philadelphia off the ground. They started 0-2. They couldn't win at home. Now look at them. I think they're geared up to win the NFC.
But Mariotti.
No, wait a minute. Woody, go ahead and respond.
This flies in the face of the fact that we both like Philadelphia, but the Cowboys are 5-0 at Texas Stadium and have a chance to go 8-0, which would give them the home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
Make up your mind.
They're tough in the NFC. Plaschke, last word.
I've got to agree with Mariotti, not about Philadelphia, but that Holly's out of his mind. Mark Bolger, 14-3, leads in the uniform.
14-3. Holly, respond quickly.
I was going to say, hey, the Rams have 3 of their last 5 games at home, and the Eagles are vulnerable against the run.
Okay, hey, Holly, how did Kurt Warner get his job? That's all I'm going to say. Were you screaming to take Kurt Warner out back
He's got
then?
a Super Bowl ring, baby.
Give Bulger a shot. Buy yourselves next.
Coming up, Ravens die hard. Just ask the Seahawks. Is Baltimore the AFC's sleeping giant? Plus, should Michigan get a crack at Ohio State's national championship now that they've taken away the Buckeyes' Big Ten crown? For the Horn!
Around the Horn, brought to you by Pizza Hut, home of the Pizzone Pizza, and by Norelco, ultra close, ultra comfortable, guaranteed.
Buy or sell? It's buy or sell time. Let's keep it moving. First topic. The Chiefs just got by the lowly Raiders with an overtime win at home. Tom Brady just got the Patriots past the now 4-7 Texans in OT. The Colts won ugly against the miserable Bills. And Billy Volek manned up when Steve McNair got hurt to lead the Titans back from 21 down to beat the last-place Falcons. With the AFC now completely muddled, buy or sell the Chiefs as still the best team in the conference, Plaschke?
I'm selling this. I'm buying the Tennessee Titans have the league's best rushing defense and the toughest quarterback. And always hurt. He'll be back in 2 weeks. That's what it takes to beat them in Arrowhead Stadium in January.
Okay, what do you?
I'm selling as the only person here who represents the wishes of the people who watch this show. I'm giving you Indianapolis.
Okay.
The trifecta. James is now coming on with Manning and Harrison. That's the best offense in football, guys.
Their skills positions are always, of course, yeah, but the defense you think is going to hold up, Woody?
It's improving each week.
Okay, that's true. Jay?
You got to buy this. Plaschke McNair is hurt again. I feel bad for the guy, but that's only going to hurt the Titans. Look, Kansas City, every time they've been in the red zone this year, they've scored no turnovers. Of course, they're still the best team. Buy it. Holly.
I'm going to sell this. In Texas, Tim Collishaw was the first to call it. You got to go with the New England Patriots. They won 7 straight. They're 7-0 in overtime games, and they've only given up 6 touchdown passes all year.
Extra points for bringing up Collishaw. The mute for being the homer. And Woody, their defense is better this year. It's not getting better week to week, the Colts. Next topic. Anthony Wright and Marcus Robinson hooked up for 4 TDs as Baltimore came back from 17 down with just under 7 minutes to play to beat Seattle in overtime. The Bengals beat the Chargers to keep pace with the Ravens in the AFC Central behind Chad Johnson's 3 TD receptions. The Denver Broncos are also 6-5 after being upset at home by Cordell Stewart and the Bears 19-10. Woody. Buy or sell the Baltimore Ravens as the best of the 6-5 teams, Woody?
Ooh, I have to sell this, but I can't say who you think I'm going to say.
Okay,
the team that scares me the most and scares everybody in the NFL, Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers.
Yep, Jay?
Woody, I think you're right, but I'm going to sell that too. It's not because of Brett Favre, it's because of Amon Green. He's having a terrific year. He might be the MVP. And here are 4 more reasons. Detroit, Chicago, San Diego, Oakland, their next 4 games.
Okay, we're talking about Amon Green later. Let's just save it, Jay, all right? Holly.
No, I'm going to sell this and go with the Cincinnati Bengals. Chad Johnson is the second best receiver in the AFC now after Marvin Harrison.
Yeah,
Why am I a homer? Why am I a homer for that?
Michael once again stole my argument. Must have heard it in the conference call. I am taking the Cincinnati Bengals, but this is because they have the league's 3rd best offense. Plus, they have coming in. They've won 5 or 6 games, and they lost 2 in the last seconds. This is a team you shouldn't sleep on. The Bengals.
Get your own idea.
Yeah, and by the way, Holly, if it's New England or Ohio, we always know where you're going to come down on.
Oh, come on.
Come on. We always know where you're going to come down on New England and Ohio. Next topic. With Jay Mariotti screaming about it until he was blue in the face, the Chicago Bulls fired Bill Cartwright this afternoon and named Pistol Pete Myers the interim coach. The Baby Bulls were expected to compete for a playoff spot, but are out of the gate 4-10. GM John Paxson says a replacement will be named within the week. Buy or sell the Bulls firing Bill Cartwright? Let's see.
Well, what do you think? Of course they're going to buy that. No cohesion, no chemistry. They couldn't even run a set play. Good move by John Paxson. Now you have to wait till the end of the year and hire Doc Rivers. That is the move to make Chicago native Doc Rivers to save the day.
Okay, Howard?
I'm going to buy it only because when a new GM comes in, changing the head coach is inevitable. But I don't know if the Bulls have talent where they can be expected to be a great team. I just don't think so.
Okay, Plaschke?
I'm selling this. Mariotti, tomorrow you could be saying the Bulls should fire Doc Rivers. How can you fire Bill Cartwright when the Bulls, 3 of their best players have a combined 1 year of college between them? Their number 1 draft pick is in the hospital, going to play again, and they signed Scottie Pippen to bring composure to the team? That's crazy. He never had a chance.
Woody?
Mr. Morality, I am buying this as the other guys are. He was too laid back for that situation. You need somebody who was stronger. I'm a solutions-oriented guy, and I say you make Scottie Pippen player coach for the rest of the year.
Next topic. Yes, the Ohio State University was beaten Saturday because Michigan had too much Chris Perry and John Navarre. Meanwhile, projected BCS number 3 LSU beat Ole Miss at Oxford when Jonathan Nichols, who'd missed 1 kick all season, missed twice, including a game-tying try late. And BCS number 2, we assume, USC, pounded UCLA while their only quality opponent all year, Washington State, lost to Washington. Buy or sell Michigan as the real second-best team in America, Holly?
Well, first, I'd like to thank everyone from Jim Tressel to Jack Zagurnis for a great season for the Ohio State University. But I'm going to sell Michigan and go with LSU. They play in a tougher conference. USC, by the way, the team that America wants to see, has only played one good team all year, whereas LSU has knocked off Georgia already, and their only loss is to number 11 Florida.
It's still USC. Michigan, you can't. What happened last week? They beat a fraudulent team. That team was no better than the middle of the Pac-10 right now. USC. Let's look at road games. Michigan is 2-2 on the road. USC is 5-1 on the road. Okay. Case closed.
Yeah, but you're taking shots where you really shouldn't. Woody.
I sell this. You're coming into my wheelhouse here. I watched the games on Saturday. LSU is somewhat of a fraud.
Okay.
It's going to lose the SEC championship game, even though we all
Why
hate the
are they a
BCS.
fraud, Woody? Why are they a fraud?
Because they should have gotten beat by Ole Miss if the kid just makes a field goal, and it's an easy field goal. I'm here to tell you guys, even though we hate the BCS, it's going to turn out right this year with Oklahoma and USC.
Okay. Jay?
Woody, you didn't watch the Michigan game. As I told you on Friday, John Navarre came through. Steve Breston, the kick returner. I mean, Braylon Edwards should have had 3 touchdowns. Chris Perry, an astonishing day. This is NFL-type talent on the offensive side of the ball. Yes, I buy that.
It's a great offense, and for that point, Mariotti, great point, great offense. 3 points. Is it enough? Oh,
no.
Just not enough. Jay, just not enough. You're out of here. You know how this works.
It's so much fun to get rid of him first.
Out of bounds is next. You might have something to say about that tomorrow.
Coming up, Amon Green can't be stopped. Is the Pack best back the player of the year in the NFC? Furthermore, will this guy wind up a Yank, or will he be Fenway Rod? We cover new ground. The Horn! Feel free to steal it, Holly. It's around the horn, where after 2 rounds, here's how they stand. Woody Page has 31, Bill Plaschke has 34, Michael Holley has 33, and Jay Mariotti is working on his Fire Pete Myers column. And now, it's out of bounds!
It's out of bounds where it's all inbounds. First topic, golf?
Keep reading.
The President's Cup came down to sudden death between Tiger Woods and Ernie Els, but they wound up calling it a tie due to darkness. Christine Brennan writes in today's USA Today, the matches between the USA and the international team ended in a tie because of darkness. An unsatisfying conclusion that ostensibly involves rewriting the tournament's rules to make everyone happy. Guys, should any sporting event end in a tie? Michael Holley, what do you think?
Absolutely not, Max. I'm going to take you back to the days when you were wearing shell-top Adidas. 1983, Tom Osborne has a chance to go for the tie against Miami in the national championship game. And he goes for 2, goes for the win. He doesn't get it, but it was the honorable thing to do. We watch sports because we want to see winners. This is not romper room. This is not Little League. Everybody doesn't win.
Michael, sometimes it's acceptable. In this case, it was. The Ryder Cup over the years has had ties, and that works out okay. In other sports, we do have ties. NFL games can go to a tie, guys. After 1 overtime, there are draws in boxing. The Tarver-Roy Jones fight should have been declared a draw so they'd fight again. Woody, happens.
Woody, it's never acceptable to turn your back on the fans, and that's what these guys did because Ernie Els and Tiger Woods, or not Ernie, Tiger Woods didn't want to play an extra day. That's the bottom line. Tiger didn't want to stay an extra day. He said, I want to go home. Even though he had a charter jet and could have gotten out early Monday, he didn't want to stay an extra day, so he decided to call it quits.
Woody, I like your draw in boxing ties and NFL thing. There's 2 points. But Michael, so you guys can't respond. I think you have the best point. In sports, there's a winner and a loser. The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. These are not soap operas made for women where all conflict, all melodrama is resolved so that everyone wins. Men want to see high stakes. Next topic. Hockey?
Keep reading.
The NHL spiced up their regular season with the first ever outdoors games Saturday night in Edmonton's Commonwealth Stadium. Over 57,000 fans actually sat through single-digit temperatures to watch both the Canadiens beat the Oilers 4-3 and an alumni game featuring Wayne Gretzky and Mark Messier. Since it only showed the games nationally in Canada, did the NHL blow a chance at creating real buzz for its sport, Bill Plaschke?
It totally blew it. It's like if baseball had a game, had like a Little League type of game in Cooperstown with major leaguers and wouldn't show it on TV. This is hockey's roots, and America needs to understand that. You know, players shoveling snow off the ice, players wearing ski caps over their masks. This was perfect. The NHL is already migrating to the United States enough. They needed to put their foot down and say, look at us, look at Canada.
Well,
They blew it. Totally blew it.
You're absolutely right talking about hockey's roots.
Yeah, no,
Hockey's roots reside in Canada. It's all about Montreal. It's all about Toronto. They grew up. This is their NFL. This is their baseball. You know what? Joe Thornton is like Joe Montana in Canada, but in Boston, he's not even the most popular athlete in town. That's just the way it goes.
Woody?
Woodrow knows the answer to this. Remember that little movie, Mystery Alaska? It got to be such a popular film because it did show hockey being played outdoors. I'd like to see the NHL grow this into more games.
How many people went to see Mystery Alaska, Woody?
Yeah, Woody's mentioned it twice in the last 2 shows. He's the only person to ever see it.
That's right. Hey, by the way, you know these new commercials for hockey made in the USA? You know what the real truth is? It's not. It is Canada's sport. Woody, you have anything to say for yourself?
Yes, I hope you're dumb rock.
At least you kept it clean. Showdown's next.
Coming up, hey, Noma married me a him. She's hot and smart. Didn't she go to Harvard? Or was it Brown? For the horn!
Around the Horn, brought to you by Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Showdown time, but first, hey, Disembodied Voice.
Yes?
Mia Hamm went to North Carolina.
Yes, but North Carolina doesn't sound funny with a Boston accent or rhyme with around.
That's true.
Federal investigators reportedly seized suspected anabolic steroids in a September 5th raid on the home of the personal trainer to Barry Bonds, Max.
I'm shocked that they would find that. First topic. Amon Green set a team record with his 4th straight 100-yard game as the Packers beat the Niners 20-10 on Sunday. Meanwhile, Deuce McAllister rushed for 184 yards and 2 TDs, and the Saints lost to the Eagles, his 8th straight with over 100 yards. Which back would you rather have, Green or McAllister? 15 seconds, Flashkey, go.
This is an easy one. Not only is Green a better runner between the tackles than McAllister, not only does he play in a better system with a quarterback who needs him more, he's also a better pass receiver. He's a great pass receiver, 11 career touchdown passes. That makes a difference in today's NFL. Green's the guy you'd want, not McAllister.
You know what, Plaschke, you're right. I don't really want to rip on either guy, but I would rather have McAllister for a very simple reason.
Younger.
He doesn't fumble the ball. That's why Mike Holmgren traded Green to Green Bay in the first place, because he wasn't reliable with the ball. He's quicker, he's younger, and he's the only guy who can get Ricky Williams out of town, which is what he did.
Oh. Amon Green is the MVP of the Packers right now. Next topic.
Oh, come on.
American League MVP Alex Rodriguez would accept a trade to either the Red Sox, bad move, or the New York Yankees, the Dallas Morning News reported Sunday. If you were A-Rod, which team would you rather play for, the Sox or the Yanks? 15 seconds each. Holly, pray tell.
Well, hey, you got to stay with the Boston Red Sox because you don't want to deal. Look, you don't want to deal with moving Derek Jeter to another position, the captain of the Yankees. If A-Rod comes to Boston, they're looking to move Nomar out of there. Plus, he's got the wall. He can increase his doubles by 20 or 30%.
If you're A-Rod, if you really want to be a great player, you got to go where you can win. You never won in your career. Go to the Yankees where they can win. Better chance of winning the Red Sox. You can also be a star. You can really become a great player to a Hall of Fame player with the Yankees.
He's already a star. What are you talking about?
Holly. Come on. It's a sweep. 15 seconds, go to Flashkey.
I've got some advice for Keyshawn Johnson, who said Sunday he would like to go back to the Bucs. Keyshawn, the first place you should go is away. Get out of here. Get off TV. Go into hiding somewhere. Shut your mouth. You embarrass yourself on Sunday on TV. Take your punishment like a man. Keep your mouth shut. Maybe if you're lucky, the Bucs will take you back next year.
No, the Bucs gonna take him back, Flashkey?
Maybe.
Come on, that's gonna do it, folks. We're on a 23.5-hour break. See you Tuesday around the Horn.
Did Flashkey say 8 o'clock is a Hall of Famer in New York? He already is a Hall of Famer.
You know what?
No.
Around the Horn is a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For up-to-the-minute sports information, log on to ESPN.com.
You gotta stop it with this Homer stuff. It's getting out of control.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony, did you see those fluorescent orange jerseys the Dolphins wore last night? Hideous!
I'm Tony Kornheiser, and yet another sad case of orangism out of you, Wilbon. Stop trying to keep my people down.
Orange blossoms.
We are the world. We are the orange. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Wilbon and I tackle all the important questions. Should Michael Jordan coach the Bulls?
No.
Is Lloyd Carr a jerk?
Yes.
Does Bill Belichick need a makeover?
Maybe.
We start with the Dallas Cowboys going to 8-3 by beating the Carolina Panthers, becoming the first team all season to deny the Panthers late in the fourth quarter. Wilbon, we sit here week after week, and we say that eventually the schedule is going to get the Cowboys. But no team in the NFC has a better record than the Cowboys, and there are only 5 games left. Has Dallas gone from a feel-good story to a real live contender?
Yes. I don't know if it just happened yesterday, though, Tony. I think it might have happened a couple of weeks ago. First, the special teams came for Bill Parcells, as we knew they would, because that's what he does maybe better than anybody. Special teams, effort situation, they're always going to play. The defense started early, too, and they just get better and better and better. And when Quincy Carter kicked in to play with some consistency, he had 1 pick yesterday, but that was a Hail Mary at the end of the half. Now they got 3 components going. Yes, I think the
Parcells said that this game meant something on the grander scale, winning this game.
He did until they won, and then he said, well, now it means nothing.
No, but he did. He did afterwards, and then he tried to take it back. The point is that here's Bill Parcells, and you know what's coming from me on this. He takes over a team that was 5-11 in each of the last 2 years with the same personnel. Everybody says you can't win with Hutchinson and Quincy Carter. Is that the other guy's name?
Yes.
And he says, yeah. And they say, you'll need a veteran quarterback. And he says, no, I don't. And they are winning. They're winning big. I don't see them beating Philly. I don't see them beating St. Louis. But it'd be very hard for you to say it's not going to happen.
I'll take Dallas right now in a game and St. Louis because Dallas plays defense. They hit you in the mouth. Have you watched Roy Williams? My God, this kid is great.
But they're doing it for Bill Parcells.
Fine. Now
quicker than anybody thought.
But that's over. That's over. He's great. They are a contender now. Bill Parcells and how he brought them back.
Because of him.
That's storyline A.
Because of him.
Now we're into the bell lap.
That's right.
They're playing football now. Tony, the most entertaining game of the day was not involving the Cowboys. It was Seattle at Baltimore. I watched it, and even though you say you couldn't get the game on TV, we both know you just couldn't bear watching Brian Billick's Ravens come from 17 down 3 times to win 44-41. Tony, I thought you told me the Ravens couldn't score. I thought you told me they had no quarterback. So how did this happen? Explain this.
The 41 points they got in the second half alone is probably more points than they have ever gotten total
in
all
a game.
season.
Well,
total all season.
In the last few years.
And why does it happen? Seattle now on the road, their last 2 games. I believe they're 1-4 on the road all year long. Their last 2 games, they lost at the Redskins, which a lot of people don't do.
Right.
And they give up 41 second half points to Baltimore. So their defense is nonsense. That's just absolute nonsense. As for the Ravens, it's an aberration. It's clearly an aberration. It's got to be an aberration.
He's not coaching them up. He didn't get a good performance out of his quarterback yesterday, who came from 3rd string a couple weeks ago to throw 4 touchdown passes and no interceptions.
In the halftime, he just sprinkled a little holy water and everybody said, go out and play?
Coached them up during the week.
Aberration.
During the last
then how
couple
come
of
they
weeks.
got 3 points in the first half? You know who got hosed in this whole deal?
Who?
This kid from Seattle, Hasselbeck, throws 5 touchdown passes as a career game. 0-1.
L.
Mike, I'm tempted to say the biggest shock on Sunday was your sorry, no-account Chicago Bears going into Denver, beating the Broncos 19-10.
It was.
And the Bears won the game when their starting quarterback, Chris Chandler, was knocked out, and they had to go to Cordell Stewart. The Bears are not going to the playoffs, Mike. But does this mean the Broncos aren't either?
No, the Broncos are probably not going to the playoffs, although the only team they trail right now in the playoff race for the last second and final wild card spot is Miami. All right, and we know Miami has their collapses. So Denver could go, but Tony, the bloom is off the rose for the whole Mike Shanahan's a genius thing. Mike Shanahan's a really good coach. But when he won 2 Super Bowls, who was his quarterback?
Number 7,
John Elway.
No,
and that makes all the difference. He's a good coach, Shanahan.
Well, if he is not an elite coach, who are the elite coaches? Parcells, Vermeil. Is Belichick an elite coach at this point?
He's won a Super Bowl. I don't know if you make him an elite coach.
Who are the elite coaches?
Means a very few, so a couple.
Shanahan's
I don't
won
put Gruden
2.
there. Dungy's got to win before you put him, even though he's had teams consistently up there. A couple. That's all I do.
Do you think that the Broncos, do you think right now they will not or will make the playoffs right now?
Will not.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to get in. The Dolphins won their 2nd straight game to improve to 7-4 by using the team's biggest comeback in 23 years to beat your boy, Steve Spurrier, and the Redskins last night. If the playoffs started today, Wannstedt and his Dolphins would be the 6th and final seed in the AFC. Still, Tony, there are a lot of folks, and you can include me, who are just waiting for the Dolphins to have their usual December collapse. So what do you think Wani and the Dolphins have to do to get some love?
Well, he made a couple of very good moves. One was he went to Jay Fiedler, and that helped him out a lot. And one was he gave the ball to Ricky Williams a lot in the fourth quarter. The Washington Redskins have now lost 2 games in a row when they had a better team beaten on the road. They had Carolina beaten, and they collapsed in the fourth quarter. They had Miami beaten, and they collapsed in the fourth quarter. Miami is always a good team, but they get to December. And the tremendous disadvantage they have is when they go on the road to cold weather spots, they have no chance. They have to go to Buffalo. It ain't going to be 70 degrees in December in Buffalo like it was yesterday. No, it's not.
Well, it's November, but yeah, that's not going to happen.
They always get in trouble by going on the road because they come out of warm weather.
That can't be their only excuse. They go on the road. They lose home games. We saw them lose home games last year in December. When
They're not a great team. They're not
aren't they? They have the personnel.
No, they don't. They have a very, very good defense.
That defense was supposed to be the best, one of the 2 or 3 best in the league.
They don't have a great offense.
They got a great runner.
They don't.
They got a line.
And they gave him the ball this time.
Finally.
And twice, when LeVar Arrington said, will the real Ricky Williams stand up? He stood up in the end zone in the fourth quarter. The other shoe that we've been expecting to drop on Alonzo Mourning dropped today. He was told by his doctors that basketball was no longer in his present or in his future because of the deterioration of his kidney condition. So his playing days appear to be over, and he will reportedly need a kidney transplant soon. Mike, how do you think Kenyon Martin feels today?
Sad, like I do. I've known Alonzo Mourning a lot longer than Kenyon Martin has, who seemed to think last week that 1 ankle equals 1 kidney.
And he goes, whoa, exactly. my kidney.
So he feels bad today. He feels worse than I do. I've known Alonzo Mourning since his senior year in high school and followed his entire career. And you said the other shoe was going to fall. We've always felt that way because we've heard Sean Elliott and others with this disease, a serious life-threatening disease, say you have to have a transplant, and apparently it's come to that point. But I don't want to hear people say, well, he shouldn't have done this. This is what made Alonzo Mourning who he is and who he was as a basketball player. He had to try to fight through this. This is what he exists to do.
All players would try to fight through this. The good thing that he is doing is he is listening to doctors who say you must shut this down now.
Yep.
It would be crazy if he said, no, let me get 3 more opinions, and in the meantime, let me play another week and a half because I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
No, you are on the last shot, and when the doctor says no more, then it is no more. He's a great undersized center, but he never won a championship. No. He's an undersized guy. I mean, he couldn't take you on his back alone.
I didn't even think he could ever play center in the NBA from watching him play at Georgetown, 6'8.5", 6'9".
No, you can't be a center that way.
It's tough.
Yeah.
You know how much I hate these hot stove stories, don't you? Especially when they involve how the Red Sox are loading up to beat the Yankees in November. It's just November. But at least this one has a little sizzle. The Red Sox may be on the verge of trading away a couple of prospects to get Curt Schilling from Arizona. It would clearly be a great acquisition for Boston to get Schilling, who won 45 games over his last 2 full seasons. Pedro, Schilling, Lowe, that's a pretty good threesome. Tony, if they do get Schill, should the Yankees be worried?
Well, the Yankees should be worried anyway because Boston should have beaten them in the playoffs. Now, if they get Schilling, that is like the acquisition the Yankees made when they got Clemens late in his career. The acquisition of Schilling for Boston and the taking away of Clemens from the Yankees makes the Red Sox not just a little bit better than the Yankees, but a lot better than the Yankees. It makes them a lot better than the Yankees at this minute.
First of all, this minute, as I said earlier, is November. So Steinbrenner has months to go to just load up in the arms race to beat the Red Sox.
That's fine, and he will. But right now, this makes them. Are you kidding me?
The Yankees are. Tony,
are you nuts?
It's not like the Yankees are going to start the season with 3 starters.
They've got a lineup now. The Red Sox have a lineup now where everybody bats in at least 80 runs. Come on, this makes them much better.
Cursed.
You ask me, are they better? Not are they cursed? We're taking a break. When we come back, would Michigan give Oklahoma a better game than USC or LSU? And later, there's a coaching opening in Chicago.
Don't start this. I'm begging you. Don't.
Pardon the interruption. Presented by New Smirnoff Ice Triple Black. Triple filtered for a crisp, clean bite. And in part by the new SL4 from Adidas. Exclusively at Champ Sports.
At the start of the season, Terry Bowden put Oklahoma and Michigan into the Sugar Bowl. Well, Oklahoma has done its part, Terry, and if there were a playoff, tell me you wouldn't want Michigan's chances right now.
Oh, without a doubt, Michigan is hot. Ever since they scored 31 points to come from behind and beat Minnesota 31 in the fourth quarter, they played great football. They're the hottest team now, best offensive weapons in the country.
Now, Terry, we both know you're a BCS guy, but I'm hoping this whole situation with Michigan is making you lean just a little bit toward a playoff, is it?
You know what? I am happy. I'm not a playoff guy or a BCS guy. I'm a college football guy. I'll go with whatever they have, and I've been to 4 playoffs myself. I will say this about the BCS. Besides picking the top 2 teams to play against each other, it has made the season even more valuable. You look at last weekend, and it's also made a regional sport a very national sport. Everybody in America was watching Washington State this weekend because they now understand what happens across the country. That didn't happen before the BCS.
I don't mind the BCS. I rather like it, but it has been lucky so far. Yeah. It may not be quite so lucky this year. If LSU and USC continue with just 1 loss, it may not be quite so lucky.
Right. Well, you know what? They should have one more rule. They should tweak it one more time. If the AP and coaches poll end up with the exact same 1s and 2, throw everything else out. Why cross the coaches and the writers when they both subjectively have watched the games? They can look at each team and evaluate. That's the best thing. We won't have any arguments. If 1 and 2 are the same in both polls, then leave it be.
Terry, I like that suggestion. Southern Cal keeps winning. But if LSU wins out, the Bengal Tigers have played a tougher schedule. So can't you make a stronger case actually for LSU?
I think it's going to be close, and I think you definitely could. Now LSU still got to beat Arkansas, and then they've got to go win the SEC championship. Now here's something crazy. If they go to the SEC championship and it's Georgia, and they beat Georgia, they don't get to count that as a win because they've already beat them before. And if they beat them and drop them out of the top 10 of the BCS, they lose a quality win. They could actually win the SEC championship and knock themselves out of the national championship.
It's totally insane. See, that's why the BCS has to go. But let me go to Oklahoma for a second. If somehow the unthinkable happens, they lose the Big 12 championship game, do they still deserve to go to the Sugar Bowl even if they lose that game, Terry?
Absolutely. They're the most dominant team in the country. Remember, Kansas State is 10-3 playing great football. They're the #1 scoring offense in the country, the #1 defense in the country. We haven't seen that combination in the history of recorded college football. No, they need to be there if they lose 1 game.
Okay, so if you were the guy who held all the rules in your hand, right now, who would you put in the Sugar Bowl? Oklahoma and who?
USC. That's the best market for ABC.
He was honest about it.
You know what? No, you know what? I can just see all those Cajuns let loose in New Orleans. It will be the craziest sight if LSU gets to New Orleans. You better have a bodyguard if you go down there.
Okay, let me ask you about the Heisman, and we don't often get to the Heisman because it seems like Jason White has it locked up. In fact, does he?
You know what? If he loses, if they lose the Big 12 championship game, I believe he loses out to sophomore Larry Fitzgerald. Will beat him because he's had a great game every day. I think Larry Fitzgerald would jump over him in a tight race, maybe the tightest ever, if Jason White loses his last game.
Terry, who do you personally feel is the best player in college football this year?
Phillip Rivers. Nobody in America has done more on every snap that he's been in the game than Phillip Rivers. If I had to build me a national championship team of all the players in the country, and I could have one, it would be Phillip Rivers, and I guarantee you I could get to the national championship.
But there's no way on earth that he will win the Heisman.
4 losses already, maybe 5 losses. No, you can't lose that much as a team. He just had a young defense. He couldn't outscore people, but nobody played that good every snap.
Thank you, Terry.
Thanks, Terry.
Terry Bowden, boys and girls. We're taking a break. When we come back, should the Bulls consider hiring Michael Jordan as their coach?
He's starting it up again.
And did the PGA blow the finish of the President's Cup?
You know, I know the answer to that. Yes, they blew it. You know they blew it. And stop with the Michael Jordan. Stop. Stop.
A quick shout out to the San Jose Earthquakes for winning the MLS Cup. You know, I watched a little bit. Every trip up and down the pitch unfolds like a novella. It was just breathtaking.
Hey, they beat the Chicago team, okay? They beat the Fire. We got a lot of misery this year.
Do you think I give a rat's behind about MLS? Do you? Now get the email.
You watched.
Get the email.
Did you watch?
No.
Was it good?
I didn't
you
watch.
Watched.
I didn't
Secretly,
watch.
You watched. My theory, the Bulls fired Bill Cartwright to clear the way for Michael Jordan to take over as coach. Am I deluded? Yes. Or just possibly one of the great overlooked theoreticians of our time.
Here's what I think John Paxson has to do. He has to ask 2 questions of Michael Jordan. 1, do you want to coach this team? 2, do you want to play and coach this team? Scottie Pippen is already there. This is his dear friend. He's got to ask those questions.
Are you serious?
Yes.
This is not going to happen. This is just not going to happen.
Let me see what happened.
I got a guy who wants to coach that team and can coach that team, and a team that needs to be hit upside the head needs this guy.
Tyson?
Number 2, and you love him.
Norm Van Leer.
Norm Van Leer.
That's fine. If you
out
want to
of
hire
the
Norm
booth
Van
like Pat Riley onto the bench.
I love Norm Van Leer. That's why I'm just saying, if you're John Paxson, you must contact Michael Jordan. Here's where I pretend to get number 2 out.
You don't have to contact Michael Jordan.
I'm outraged that the President's Cup was called a tie due to darkness. Why not just have an exhibition on the driving range and an autograph session and spare TV viewers the 4 days of emotions that added up to much ado about nothing?
It was ridiculous that these guys walked off without playing that thing today. This tournament, all right, the President's Cup, it says we don't end in a draw. And they had these selections, people to go at it, Els, Woods, on a day in case it was a tie. And golfers love to say we live by the rules.
It was dark.
So it's going to be light the next day. I don't want to hear about the charter, Caddington. Our charter's leaving. I don't want to hear about this little junk. You play why, Tony?
To win the game.
Thank you very much.
I'll just say this. I'm on the other side of this, and I know I am in the very small minority. It didn't offend me because I felt when Gary Player and Jack Nicklaus made this deal, there was something sweet about that. So I know I'm on the wrong side, but golf often ends in a tie. The thing that hurt this was that they then said if it ends in a tie, then America retains the cup, and then the international squad said we don't want that.
They made it up as they went.
They did.
And they sold it as different from the Ryder Cup.
Yes.
Why? Because it's not supposed to end in a tie.
Listen very carefully to me.
What?
You're right.
Oh!
You're right, but I liked it. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Wasn't the action great?
I didn't mind the ending.
Great.
I thought when Elson and Woods went back-to-back,
you wanted to see a few more holes of it, right?
It was too dark. It's too dark.
And the next day, sunrise. Can you believe that?
Sunrise, sunset. The sun will come up tomorrow. You want me to do Annie for you?
Philip Buchanan cost the Raiders a touchdown by taking off his helmet while out of bounds to celebrate his interception. Come on. It's time to get rid of this stupid rule. The guy was out of bounds, Tony.
You know, I talked to Sean Salisbury on the radio today, and he said that it was wrong to throw a flag because the guy was out of bounds. But if you look at this, he takes off his hat, and he does play to the crowd a little bit. You know, here's my problem. Okay, here is my problem. If you're going to flag this guy, but you allow people in the end zone to do that stupid garden hose routine, and you don't flag them, there's no consistency in that.
How about every guy pointing first down? That makes me more infuriated than anything.
So, okay, then I will ask you this. Do you want to get rid of all the celebrations, all of them, or do you want to keep them all in? Because you have to have some consistency here.
I'm torn.
The Raiders could have won that game.
Should do? They should penalize based on how stupid your celebration is. Smart celebrations are fine. Stupid celebrations
it's a great judgment called. Did you guys see the halftime interview with Lloyd Carr during the OSU-Michigan game on Saturday? What was up with that? Lloyd was in a worse mood than Wilbon after talking about PETA. I didn't see it. Can we run that? Can we see this, please?
Well, Coach, I know you get second-guessed all week long. How come you didn't go with anything when you have 2 timeouts left in the half?
Why would you ask a dumb question like that?
Well, I'm just curious, with 44 seconds, a chance to make a move down the field, possibly get a field goal.
Ooh.
Lloyd Carr is a cretin, okay? Let me tell you something. I sat here and I said I was rooting for Michigan the previous day on Friday when we left before the weekend. As soon as Lloyd Carr did that, since I hate Michigan anyway, I could then comfortably go back and root for Ohio State. Sideline reporting, as you know, I think is stupid anyway.
It is.
Because you never get anything.
But that's
the guy
a legit
asked
question.
A legit question. The announcers in the game were saying it's a legit question.
It is absolutely legitimate to ask a question about strategy. Not so much how do you feel up 15 points or something like that.
Please.
But so you don't think he'll become the next Secretary of State?
Lloyd Carr.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I hope Michigan, whatever happens, they're going to lose the next game 100-0. Whatever their next game is in a bowl. What's up with Bill Belichick and his hooded sweatshirt? He looks like a homeless guy, or he just rolled out of bed and threw something on. Why doesn't he just wear a jacket like all the other coaches?
You know, I noticed this as well, and he looks like an old guy gang member, like he sleeps on a grate.
No, it's a cool sweatshirt. I think his arms are so short he maybe had to cut the ends of the
Here's what I
sleeves
wonder
off.
about. Herman Edwards wears a sweatshirt, but manages to have a certain amount of dignity.
Have
he
you
looks
seen
homeless.
Herman Edwards' physique versus Belichick's
so then
physique?
the only thing I can think of is that he learned this from Parcells. Remember Parcells used to wear a sweatshirt all the time, and he learned it from Parcells, or that he was always coached in the Northeast.
He's tight. Is he a Bob Knight guy? What does Knight wear?
I don't think so.
Knight and Parcells.
Knight doesn't wear a sweatshirt. He wears a sweater.
But it's all over his belly. What is that?
Well, what's all over your belly? Time for a break, but don't go anywhere because we've
muscle.
Still got to talk about the future of Frankie Solich and the latest trade talk surrounding Alex Rodriguez.
Stop with the A-Rod stuff. I mean, we're in November. Enough.
You are feisty today.
Pardon the interruption. Presented by New Smirnoff Ice Triple Black. Triple filtered for a crisp, clean bite. And in part by Gap.
Happy time, people. Happy 39th birthday to Dan Snyder. Actually, it was Sunday. It could have been a great birthday if the Redskins defense hadn't utterly collapsed late in the game. Snyder bought the Redskins 4 years ago for $800 million. He's making money, but he's not winning championships.
Did you wrap the present we got him? The Paris Hilton sex tape, put a big bow, get a card?
Absolutely.
He'll be happy
Going to be delivered. He'll be happy. A not-so-happy anniversary, Marty Morningweg. On this day last year, you won an overtime coin toss against the Bears, took the win, and lost the game when the Bears drove right down and kicked a field goal. Here's his quote: "Knowing the outcome of the game, I wouldn't do it again." Really? That's in part why Morningweg no longer coaches the Lions. He's in Philadelphia now, assisting Andy Reid.
Bears might have had a better draft pick out of that had they lost a game.
Happy trails, Frank Solich. Reports say the Nebraska coach could be forced into retirement following next week's game against Colorado. I don't get it. He's 8-3.
Florida, Nebraska, Texas, Alabama, the places I would not want to coach. Too hard.
Time to find out what we messed up, stat boy.
Philip Buchanan, it was a punt return, not a pick. The Enzo dance, the sprinkler, not the garden hose.
I like garden hose. Running out of show. Here we go to the big finish.
Let's do it.
A-Rod is open to the Red Sox or the Yankees. Which is a better fit?
The Yankees, of course. The Eagles win again. Is McNabb still overrated?
Stop. Just stop.
Every week
Just
I'm doing this, okay?
Mike Price is interested in the Idaho job. Is he a good candidate?
Conservative Idaho. No, he's not. Nomar, Mia, they got married over the weekend. Wish him well, Tony.
Here's to you, Nomar and Mia. The Giants are at Tampa Bay tonight. Who you got?
One of the Barbers, Rondé Barber, taking Tampa at home.
Tampa Bay. All right, we're out of time. We will try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
And I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow.